I'd like to welcome you today as you have welcomed me, and that's very warmly. I'm thrilled to be here with you today. Does anyone know what a gerontologist is? Oh, good. Okay, we have some. Well, I'm here to tell you that a gerontologist studies and promotes the successful aging of human beings. So I'm glad all of you are here in my audience today because you definitely fit that bill. Now, why in the world would you need a gerontologist? My goal as a professional gerontologist is to spread the word about successful aging. And as I talk with you, you'll be able to see how you fit into my top 10 tips for success in aging. I want to encourage you that you are doing today, and as you gather, I know you gather regularly every month? Every week. Every week.
We can't remember. We forget it every only came once a month. Once a week we can remember.
I am so proud of you. The basis of positive aging is an active engagement with life. I want to tell you, as a scientist, I'm a social scientist of aging. And in the social science of aging, in about 1984, two psychologists defined successful aging. Successful aging, by definition, is a high competency, both mentally and physically, a low risk of disease and disability, and an active engagement with life. What I do is all about that active engagement with life. Because, to be very honest, if you've made it this far in life, you're doing something right. You're doing more than one something right. And I want to encourage you to keep gathering together as friends. That's huge. To keep being part of our society, we need you so much. You have figured it out. And what you have to share, your wisdom and your wit about getting through it, there are a lot of younger people who need to hear what you have to say. So, let me tell you how I define success in aging. 1, an active engagement in life which is consistent with how an individual wants to age as one grows older. 2, aging well within your own limitations, whatever they may be, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and or financial. And 3, the ability to make good decisions which have to be based on good information, which allows you to be proactive and participate with your own aging process. Now, I know to you that that sounds like, well, that's what I do. That's what I've been doing. And that's what I'm here to tell you today. You're doing a great job. And I want to encourage you to keep doing this every year of your life. My job as a professional gerontologist is to help you find good information upon which you can base your good decisions. My job as a gerontologist is to encourage you to keep doing these things which you are already doing well, because the bottom line is this: you're not just here for yourselves. You're here for the younger generations who are watching you. Very quietly, they are observing you. They all have their own preconceived notions of aging, whether it's positive or negative. And you are the best book that they can read. You are the ones that encourage them that they can have choices as they age, that they can be hip when they've lost their youthful bodies. You are encouraging them in many, many ways that you know not of. So please, keep up the good work. All right, I am going to move into my top 10 tips for success in aging. But first, I'd like all of you to look at the copy of the journal that you have in front of you. All right? And I put different ones on different tables. Some of you have my What is Success in Aging. Some of you have stories about the Wii, which is the new electronic game that you can run through your computer onto your TV screen. And I'd like to ask you some questions right now. How many of you have computers at home? All right. How many of you with your computers go on the internet? How many of you, when you go on the internet, also have an email account? Excellent. This is excellent. Whatever you can get on your computers today, in just a very short time, with one plug, going from a computer to your television set, you can get the same things on your television. The broadband is going to be almost limitless very soon. And all of the interesting websites that people go on, you can see on your televisions. Now, why do I say this? I say this for one of the reasons, as you notice on my Journal for Success in Aging, on the back, and also the cards that I gave you, I own www.successinagingtv.com. And soon you can get that on your full screen TV. And in it is loaded television shows from American Senior Television, which our photographer Craig owns, and that was on TV here in Orange County a couple years ago. Also, you can access more of my journals for Success in Aging. On purpose, I did not put the journal that has the top 10 tips for success in aging, so you all would be challenged to go home and look at it on your computers. So that is another thing I want you to understand about positive aging. There's nothing to be afraid of. And you say, whoa, that's a big statement. But I am afraid. I'm afraid of a lot of things. Well, all of us are. All of us are. And I want you not to be afraid. I don't want you to be afraid because, again, you need to be those good examples to the younger people in your life. Younger people are making decisions all the time that we know not of. And I want you to know that you are a wonderful example to them. And as you go home and you get on your computers, if you can't do something, instead of being bummed out or afraid or dissuaded, I want you to call one of those wonderful younger people in your lives and say, darling girl, can you please show me how to do this? Or I'm trying to get to this. I want you to know that you will encourage them so much, and they will probably give you at least 5 things to do that'll be really fun. Do you go find a website or go do something on your computer? Now, does anyone in the room own the Sony plug-in game called the Wii? Does anyone own it yet? The Wii? Okay, the Wii is an electronic game that you actually plug in to your computer or your television. You can bowl, you can play tennis, you can golf. It is so much fun. And I really encourage you that Sony made it for people 60 and above, purposefully. And it is fantastic. If you don't feel like going outside or if it's raining, you can actually play something and get some exercise in your own home. And it's really fun to invite friends over to do this too. So there you go. I just wanted to let you know that there is a world waiting out there for you that I want you to explore. This is another part of aging well. Never give up your exploration. Never. A very famous brain scientist named John Medina, who has developed many things for NASA, and he has his own website called Brain Rules, brainrules.net. He has 12 rules. The first one is about exercise. Exercise does more for our brains and brain health than anything else. But his last rule is human beings constantly look for something new. We are curious, and that is a beautiful thing about human beings. So I encourage you, be curious and let the younger people in your lives know that you want to learn new things. All right, so now I'm going to move to my top 10 tips for success in aging. Number 1, love. Love. Love is the key to aging well. Love keeps you young. But I want to throw down a gauntlet to you and say, love yourself. Many of us are very good at loving others, taking care of others. We're used to that. But when you love yourself, you do something very important. This has nothing to do with selfishness. It actually has more to do with humility. Because when you love yourself and take good care of yourself, the many, many people who love you and depend on you feel good and feel hopeful. Part of aging well is to feel hopeful and to look forward to the next day. My grandfather, who lived to 95 and was the executive vice president of Occidental Life Insurance Company, said to me when he was in his 90s, "Di, I always make a list of at least 3 things I have to get done tomorrow. Because if I have to get something done tomorrow, I'll wake up." And that was one of his keys to aging well. I want you also to know that when you take good care of you, you're doing the things that will make you a happier and healthier year older. How many of you are 80 in this room or above? All right. I want you to know, you special group, that when I go and speak to younger people, I tell them, I want you to be a happier 80-year-old. Wow, to younger people, that's a big deal. To this room, I want you to be a happier 95-year-old. Okay. I also want you to know, and this is interesting, and it's a little political, and I won't really go there, but when you love yourself enough to take care of yourself, you will keep yourself off of our healthcare system, which needs a lot of help right now. You will be happier the less time that you spend in a hospital. And who gave the wonderful prayer before we ate? Thank you so much. I really resonated with what he asked, and I think we all did. We all want to be in the healthcare system as little as possible. Again, younger people are watching, and they're the ones that it's easy to be a couch potato. It's easy to eat fast food. It's easy not to think about yourself at 80. So thank you for being good examples. I wanted to let you know also, in loving yourself, there are 2 great investments that we must make as adults. Our first investment, of course, into our bank accounts, so that we will have choices in our old age. And you all have done a great job on that. And I want you to encourage every young person in your life, especially in these hard financial times, to save aggressively. I always tell younger people, do the math. Actuarize, oh, I blew that. Thank you. Do the math. Plan another 30 years and start saving now. The second investment that you can make that is so important that I laud you today for is the investment into your friendships. Friendships have been proven scientifically to extend life and to keep you from the things we all don't want to go there: heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure. And I'll tell you why. In 1999, a sociologist made a grand statement, and he said, bowling leagues are closing. Friendships in America are suffering. And he was laughed off the stage. But the Society of the Social Psychologists of America did a 5-year study and found out he was exactly right. From 1999 to 2004, the study, and it's called Bowling in America, was done. And they found out that the greatest generation had 3 best friends, and baby boomers have only 2. At our table, we were talking about clubs closing, women's clubs left and right, the E-Bells Club, many, many women's clubs, because of course women have been working, there's not enough time to volunteer, etc. But what it also showed, this study, is we have less dinner parties. We gather less frequently. We practice our friendship less because we have a big TV to watch every night. We can just put in our favorite movies and not converse with each other. I encourage you, keep working on your friendships. Thank you, men, for getting together every week. Thank you, ladies, for joining them when you can. Thank you for calling your friends. Thank you for calling your granddaughters, ladies, and your grandsons, men. They need you more than you know. You are more important to them then you know you are their heroes. Thank you. 2, get good information about everything. Really. With the internet, we have the blessing of faster communication and lots of information. We have the curse of not always knowing if it's good information or not. I'm going to tell you now, and I've also given to Gary a sheet that he can reproduce for any of you. It has websites, or you can go on my website and get the same information. But if you'd like to know good information, there are a couple of sites that you can run your emails through. One is called truthorfiction.com. And on that, if you want to know if something is an urban legend or a fairy tale that's being, put through the email, you just type it in and it'll tell you. Also, does anyone in the room use Snopes.com? Snopes is very good. Before we hit that send message to our friends, we need to check out if we're passing fact or fiction. Second thing, WebMD. Anybody go on WebMD? Great, that's a really good for you back here and everyone else who put your hands up. When you want to do some research on something that's bothering you or bothering a loved one, go on to webmd.com. We don't even need to type www anymore. You just up there in the address bar, webmd.com, and go searching. You know what? Instead of the 2-hour movie, spend those 2 hours doing some research on your computer. You'll feel really good about yourself, and you deserve it. You're growing, and you're getting truth, and that's very important in old age. Next, I'd like to also tell you that some things that might come to your house. Now, anybody get the paper version of the AARP Bulletin, the newspaper? Did you get that? I want you to know that they have pretty up-to-the-moment health facts there. Also, there's a terrific magazine called Health. Well, you can go on health.com. Again, that's good, solid information. So we have WebMD, health.com, the paper version of the AARP Bulletin, and sometimes in the back of Time magazine. Does anyone get Time? Okay, they have some pretty up-to-the-moment health news too. So I encourage all of you, get good information. You can make good decisions if they're based on good information, and encourage all of your younger family and friends to do the same thing. Number 3, laugh. King Solomon had it right. Laughter doeth the heart good like a medicine. Laughter is amazing. Laughter releases 2 chemicals. Every time you laugh, 2 chemicals are released in your body that fight off pain and fear. Pain and fear are the 2 biggest negatives associated with aging. Am I right? I think I am. Yeah, afraid of pain. So laughter is fantastic. Now I tell people, if you're having a rough time, if there's nothing to laugh about, rent a movie. Buy laughter. It's all right. In fact, I'm going to give you another website right now with free movies. None of these stolen things. It's called Hulu, HULU.com, Hulu. Last night my husband watched Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon when they dressed up like girls and Marilyn Monroe was in the movie and Some Like It Hot, was that it? Okay, and the night before he watched some sci-fi Star Troopers or whatever, and it's all free. I want you to know that there is nothing like laughter to change you. And I'll tell you why right now scientifically. When you laugh, you breathe in quickly. And what are you breathing in? You're breathing in oxygen. Oxygen does things on a cellular level to your body to help you. Inside our cells there's something really smaller called mitochondria. On a cellular level, oxygen helps the mitochondria to get strong and healthy, and your cells will reproduce better. In aging, everything slows down. Do we know this? When you laugh, you are taking your aging cells and giving them a pep start to divide and conquer. You are helping yourself tremendously with your oxygen input. Also, people who laugh and these chemicals that are taking away pain and fear, you're also reducing your chances for stroke, heart attack, high blood pressure, the things that we really want to avoid. So laugh, everybody. And you know what? Laugh with friends. We'll go back to number 1, friendship. Laugh with friends. It'll do you a world of good. Get them on the phone. It'll do you a world of good. Friendship is the flagship to positive aging. Number 4, this is a 2-parter. Exercise and put your feet in motion. Now, everyone knows, okay, all right, I know I should be exercising, but I'm going to take it down to even a more simple thing than this. In old age, balance and mobility are 2 issues of great importance. We want to go. We want to be able not just to walk to the next room, but to walk outside, get in our cars, and go where we want to go. To do this, you must have good balance and good mobility. I want you to exercise specifically every day for your foot health and the core stability of your body. Has anyone in here heard of Pilates? Pilates? Does anyone do Pilates? Men? Good. Back row, 2 men. Excellent. Pilates is a very simple, very slow, very determined way to exercise in a way that the core stability of our body is built up. That's the exercise that I'm interested in for you. So, does anyone in the room do yoga? No, not yet. Okay, websites. Go on your internet and put in yoga in the Google bar, and it will come up. There'll be yoga areas where you are. There are now little videos that you can watch to kind of get an idea what things are. I'm not talking about meditation or Eastern arts. I am just talking about a type of exercise that will strengthen you and help you walk from room to room, help you walk so you will not be afraid of falling. And I want you to know, in America, we always follow the money, don't we? We follow who's funding what. Number 1 right now, funding issue for the aging in America is fall prevention. You do not want to fall. 73% of broken hips die within the first year. Do you know that? There is a hormone in your bones of your hips. God gave it to us as a gift when we were not this advanced in our society. This was a gift because a broken hip is so traumatic, few people get over it. You do not want to have a broken hip. Work on your balance and your mobility and exercise every day in a way that will promote foot health and your inner core. Excellent. 5, and this is not easy, you've already done it today. Feed yourselves well. All right, this sounds like a no-brainer, doesn't it? Right. But you know, have any of you heard of this new term that everybody's talking about, phytonutrients? Anybody hear phytonutrients? That means plant-based foods. Phytonutrients come to us from things that are green and orange and red, whatever grow. And I can tell you right now some of the easy ways to do it. Green things are going to make you feel happy. Orange things are going to help your eyes see better. Red things will help you avoid heart attacks. These things that grow, and eat them as least cooked as possible. Go to the, you know how to do this. I don't even have to tell you. But I encourage you, eat more vegetables every day. Eat everything else too, but eat more vegetables every day. Have more fruit every day. Now let's talk about some other things that are in the news. Antioxidants. Antioxidant. Okay, everyone in the room taking some kind of fish oil, flaxseed oil. Can I see a show of hands? Yes! Okay, everyone else who didn't put your hand up, I'm throwing down the gauntlet. Fish oil now comes with, and you can get it at Costco or Sam's, Comes with either vanilla oil or orange oil or something, so it will not give you indigestion. It's very important you take this at night. It is an essential fatty acid, and essential fatty acids do not make you fat. I want to give you some other good tips. Gentlemen, if you have a little bald spot in the back of your head and you don't like it, even if you can't see it, if you start adding essential fatty acids and some other nutrients, and I'll tell you now, you can grow that hair back. My husband's did. I put him on all these things about 10 years ago, and boy, he grumped every day, but he's got his hair back.
What about big bald heads?
You know, all I can tell you about big bald heads is that just celebrate it. But the things that are excellent for men for prostate health, like saw, palmetto, and pumpkin seeds and zinc, if you add some evening primrose oil, which your wives probably know about because that got us through PMS, if you add that essential fatty acid and maybe a little flaxseed oil and a little fish oil, you will notice a difference in the things that are on the outside. Your skin, your hair, the moisture in your eyes, the things that bother you. And see, there's things that we die of and things that just make us miserable. Wouldn't you like to be away from the things that make us miserable? We were talking at our table about how we're the dermatologist's best friends in the gerontology years. They love to see us. They know we're coming. I encourage you, do those things for yourself. You know what? You deserve to spend some extra time, effort, and money on your skin, your hair, your appearance. And that's another thing I'd like to talk to about. Sometimes it's really hard to look in the mirror as we grow old. It isn't just for the 80 pluses, the 70 pluses, the 60 pluses. The 50 pluses and the 40 pluses feel the same way. We just feel it differently. I want you to understand, this goes back to point number one, you have to love yourself. When you look in the mirror every day, that's your homework. Say, all right, you, I love you. And then do something to take care of yourself. You know what? That is what we must do in our lives. Okay, so we've gone through exercising and feeding yourself well. Now I'm going to tell you to be kind to yourselves and get your rest. Shirley, where are you, who asked me about melatonin? All right, Shirley, and everyone, here's the thing. When you sleep in the dark, your body produces another blood hormone called melatonin. So you must sleep in the dark every night, and 7 to 8 hours are best. If you have a problem with a lot of sleep, just get your sleep in the dark. The natural melatonin that's in your body will come out. And I encourage you that if you're having a hard time getting rest, treat yourself to a new mattress, or treat yourself to new bedding, something that's pretty, or good looking, or handsome, however you want to say it. You deserve this, and it will go to a part of you that you will be healthier and have a better outlook on life. And having a better outlook on life actually makes you a healthier person for yourself and a happier person for other people. Number 7, floss your teeth. Oh my. Scientific research in 2004 showed us that there is a direct link, thank you, sir, with dental plaque and arterial plaque. And that was big news. In 2007, scientific research came and showed that there is a direct link with dental plaque and Alzheimer's brain plaque. I'll tell you, if the heart didn't make me start flossing my teeth, the Alzheimer's really did. They also have found a link between pancreatic cancer and dental plaque. So I encourage everyone, floss your teeth. Dentists say every 24 hours. Pick your time, just make sure it's every 24 hours. And be proactive for yourself. It really does help. 8, fight depression. Depression is the #1 illness of old age. Did you know that? #1. Depression is very normal for human beings. All human beings have at least 5 depressions within their lifetime. And because the loss that people feel when they're growing older, loss of car keys, loss of hair, loss of the things that we have come to expect. We go through a lot of losses in old age, and depression is very easy. Fight it. You know what? There's another thing. When we don't have something to do, we lose either our career or we lose. It's a transition. When our grandmothers got bored, they volunteered. And as I brought earlier, younger women who are working do not have the time to volunteer, and I know many of you do. We are having a great conversation about Hoag Hospital and volunteering and the money that you raise for your groups. I applaud you again. Volunteer. It was Ralph Waldo Emerson who said, "Rings and jewels are not gifts, they're excuses for gifts. The only true gift is a portion of yourself." And I will guarantee you that the people you volunteer for will probably get more out of it than you do, and you'll get a tremendous amount. 9, declutter your space. De-mess and de-stress. Do you know, I know, do you know that good cholesterol is oxidized into negative cholesterol when you are stressed out? Only you know what is in your space. And I want you to know, when you set parameters for yourself, I will not, I can, I cannot. In just what you do in your everyday life, you will say to yourself, I got to get rid of a few things. Sometimes things are attitudes. Sometimes they're boxes in the garage. All right? If you are overwhelmed with de-messing your own space, there is a wonderful organization called the National Association of Professional Organizers, and they can be found at napo.net, N-A-P-O.net. And they have you could put in your zip code and they'll come up with 5 people in your area who would just love to come over and help you get organized. Getting organized makes you feel great. Your children will not take your names in vain later on when they need to go through your things. And you have a wonderful opportunity here to create a legacy of the memories that are important to you. If you're going to de-mess, then organize your favorite memories and call one of those younger people you know. On every Windows application and computer comes something called Movie Maker, and your young ones can take your photos and put them to music and do little movies for you. You could surprise everybody at the next family gathering by doing your own movie of your own pictures, and I encourage you to do that. I also want you to know that after you declutter your space, I want you to fill your space with beauty. Beauty's job is to lead us to peace. Peace should lead us to wisdom, and wisdom leads us to truth. Seeking truth brings us to what is real and good in our lives, and as our lifespan develops, truth leads us to our purpose, because all of us have a great purpose in life. Whatever age you are, you're still here. You have a purpose. My last tip is this: worship God. A solid body of new research has shown that spiritual values and prayer actually cause healing and better lifespan. Research conducted at major universities including Duke, Stanford, and Miami have shown that people who practice their faith, read religious writings, and are part of a faith community have better immunities, lower blood pressure, and fewer heart attacks and strokes than people who do not. Because we are made in God's image, our value is immeasurable. And it is the reason that old age is positive and valuable and good. During the last 20 years of life, a natural part of our lifespan development is to make amends with people in our lives and with God. The theory of lifespan development is based on an 80-year lifespan. So the 20 years in your ages of 60 to 80 is significant in this development of your spiritual lives. We must complete life tasks, which include these making amends with people and with God. So connect to your spiritual selves. I, again, encourage you strongly, and I'm throwing down this gauntlet. Connect with your spiritual self and seek the truth about your life. Studies show that as you age, you will find peace and fulfillment as you seek this spiritual satisfaction. And it all goes back to number one, love and love yourself. Thank you very much.